My side of the bag. I'm Drew Hinesley. Scotty Worldwide is here. And Scotty, I'm going to let you introduce our very esteemed guest.
Oh my God. Well, what a pleasure. You see him in the corner for our folks that are watching this. LPGA caddy, my good mate, longtime LPGA caddy, and current U.S. Open champion for what he did last week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show and welcome to my side of the bag, Jeffrey Brighton. Jeffrey, how are we?
Hello, lads. Fantastic.
I bet you are. And
Right. Back to Earth today, starting a new event. But what a week! What a
yeah,
crazy,
yeah, and
crazy couple
so
of days.
So you win on Sunday, and then you got to get yourself to Galloway, New Jersey to work the ShopRite event. Tell me what the travel was like, going from winning to getting to work this week.
So it was always on my schedule, and then I half thought she might not play this week because I mean, a lot of people pull out after to winning, an event like that last week. But she's ready to go, and hopefully we can keep rolling. So quite often people keep it rolling, and she is obviously playing well. So who knows what happens? Or then again, it may be a big ask. So no expectations this week. But ShopRite is fun. It's a flat course. I've been here a million. You know what Scotty is like. It's a fun week. You've got Meetigans there on the first tee. It's a 3-day event, flat, and yeah, happy to be here. Happy to see everyone, and just but yeah, it's just been like uh, because obviously in a couple of hours' time we start again at level par. You've
Yeah.
got to go again, and you know how hard it is to win. Well, you don't, Scott. You just won recently as well. But it's like you have to. It rarely happens. You lose much more than you win, so you have to enjoy it. You have to celebrate, and so I think Maya did. She certainly Sunday night was. She was fantastic. She enjoyed it, but so many commitments for her. Like
Yeah.
the stuff you have to do is unbelievable. But I certainly celebrated enough for both of us. So I'm normal now. I've got a coffee here. This is the partying's over, and we've got whatever my game face is on now, but I don't know. Just I'm honestly, lads, I'm over the moon.
Yeah, awesome, buddy. And so happy for you. I know we played 2 practice rounds last week, and I know, I could tell that Maya was hitting the ball good, and just, locked in. Strategy was perfect down the stretch. And I know what your boss means to my boss, and to see her celebrate there was just really cool. And to see you guys go from, early in the week to doing what you did was specifically and personally cool for me to see.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's a couple of good Swedes we got to work for right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're doing well, and Lynn had a good week, and but the backing that they have, and the people that they have in their camp and their team with the Swedish Federation, I think it's very impressive. They're set up for success that way for sure.
Well, Scotty told me maybe Tuesday or Wednesday that you guys had played together. And I said, oh, a Solheim Cup get to know you. Solheim Cup discovery round. And Scotty said, we're just trying to make it to Saturday. But there is some of that throughout the year. Is there not? Just kind of, hey, let's play together. Let's hit some shots together. Get a little bit more familiar with each other as if they're not already very, very close.
Yeah, and well, this year isn't it the Crown International Crown this year, which
Correct.
is a fun event. Team golf is great because and obviously the Solheim it's every couple of years, but then we have the International Crown, so it's 4. So hopefully, I'm assuming Ingrid and Maya will be there in the team, and then Lynn Grant as well, Madeline maybe. So there's that. I mean, if that's the team, that's a very strong team. They all know each other very well, and but it's interesting, so they're all close, but they all have their very own unique styles. So yes, those 4 golfers are Swedish, and maybe share similar coaches, same with the coaching staff, but they're so different in their approach. But I mean, every golfer is unique, but particularly golfers from those countries. So yeah, but that's a good thing as well because but I think Maya had Ingrid and Lynn ran onto the green and to celebrate with her, so she really appreciated that, and that was pretty cool for her. And yeah, they're all, we're all competing against each other, but everyone's one big family at the end of the day.
My side of the bag, sponsored by Birdie Brands and Uncle Keith's Red Sauce. Thank you, everybody, from the Back Nine Brief over in Europe tuning in with us today. We have Jeff Brighton, who is the caddy for Maya Stark, and that team won the U.S. Women's Open presented by Ally last week at Erin Hills. Jeff, you've commented, I've seen a little bit in the media talking about how you guys used some aggressive lines and some very specific targets off the tee to maybe give you an advantage. Talk about your strategy going in and how it played out throughout the tournament.
Yeah, there's no denying that Maya's length off the tee and was an advantage. Big golf course, such a vast property. It had a lot of meat to it, so you had to get it out there. And there was a couple of times she turned really difficult holes into quite straightforward holes with a good drive. If you remember 5, Scott, like a lot of players couldn't get over that brow there, and
Yep.
it was hard to make par, but Maya could with a good drive, and sometimes that extra 10 gets you 30, gets it in a downslope, and hit a nice 9-iron and made the putt. But she's hit 3 good shots, but it's like that off that drive it becomes an easier hole. The other 2 players we played with made bogey that day, so it was a huge advantage. A couple of times we were in the rough. The rough was so thick there. But again, having that bit of strength, like there was a couple of lies that we had. I thought, okay, we'll just. I wouldn't be able to get it out, but and I know a lot of the field wouldn't be able to, but she somehow was able to a couple times on Friday and Saturday, like I'm just going to open up an 8 and just swing really aggressive at it, and just was able to muscle out the rough, but with some control and put it on the green. And again, huge advantage. So we had a caddies will do all the work before. I did a load of prep on the course on Sunday, but as soon as Maya got there on Monday, she said, visually, I like this. So that's huge, because again, a lot of the players, it wouldn't have suited their eye, because there's the USGA. There's work to do because they don't let you use lasers. So caddies, old school caddying, we've got to get a number, and then there's no pictures on the yardage book. So I don't know if you've showed on the podcast, Scott, what our yardage books look like, but very detailed with pictures. So we all work hard and prepare, but you could almost turn up on the first tee of a tournament day and caddy, because it's all there for you. USJ, you're not allowed the pictures, and there was a lot of blind tee shots and different lines. So I had all that, but Maya just seemed to have it from Monday instinctually, and she said this really suits my eye again. So that was a positive. And then obviously you saw Monday and Tuesday playing well. I thought, hang on, we've got a really good chance here. But yeah, so we had we played aggressive to smart targets all week. And that was a key, because she's not somebody who likes playing scared or does well when she's playing scared. So, but at the same time, she was really disciplined and listened to what we had planned and didn't deviate from anything, and executed every time. So everything was on point, and we had a good game plan. But it was the course was made for her, and just everything went right.
Jeff, she's gave you a lot of credit over the last couple of days just for keeping her in it and some of your comedic relief, which we always enjoy. What did that mean to you personally, her going out of her way to give you so much credit for getting the job done as a team?
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? It's all Maya. Like, it's how lucky
Sure.
to be on the bag, but we are such a small part of what these golfers do, but we are an important part. And that's, again, like as people don't understand what goes into being a caddy, and the different it's not so much about reading greens; it's reading rooms and situations all the time. And so I have been doing it a long time. But even though I've been a short time with Maya, she's a brilliant communicator. So again, makes my job quite easy, and we get on great. So I just but it means a lot. Just as you know, Scott, the flag and the nice checks enough. But just to feel part of a team, that's a great feeling, because we work bloody hard, and so it's nice that we if we feel appreciated, and yeah, and like I like to think I do work hard, but like this has just made me even more motivated, and just like, okay, well, let's see where else we can go, and if there's if we can get any more. But because I'm just so impressed, because on like the last 3 weeks first 3 weeks we did together, she hadn't been playing that well. You could still see how good a player she was, but maybe hadn't. And then when she just clicked, I mean, it was just a joy to watch. Such a buzz.
Well, you're talking about recognition and how good that feels. And I saw one of your former bosses, Mr. Colin Montgomery, publicly acknowledge the job you did and congratulated you for a job well done and a huge victory and a major championship. Talk about how that feels, and talk a little bit about your relationship with Colin. I'm sure it's still quite good.
Yeah, we're like best of friends. I did 3.5 years working with him. Colin, growing up in Scotland, Monty was the man, right? And he's a big reason that I got into golf. So without doubt, my sporting hero. Then, albeit later in his career, I get to work with the legend, and I can't say enough about him. And he's brilliant boss, and great fun to be around, and still, even though into his 60s now, an incredible golfer. I've been thinking about it because it was a dream come true to work for him, but and he kept me around for a long time, and liked I think we worked well on the course. But there's no doubt I learned more from Colin Montgomery than he's ever going to learn from me. What can I tell him? So he keeps the game incredibly simple, and has an unbelievable golfing brain. So just watching how not just Colin, but all those legends working on that Champions Tour, you're past major winners, Hall of Famers. So I was like a sponge. I was just soaking up every day. Like Fred Couples one day, VJ the next, Stricker. I was like, okay. And even though they're not at the peak of their powers anymore, they still do it the same way. So it was like, I was just a sponge, just trying to take it all in and watching how they and their caddies interacted, because you've got all the legendary caddies there as well, like Fluff and Freddie Burns, who was there with Hal Sutton. Be the right club today. They're still caddying in their late 70s, 80s. It's mad. So and all still love what they do. So that's a fun tour. But Colin was just he is such a smart golfer, and so without doubt he's made me a better caddy. I've been very lucky. I had some great players on the LPGA, and you're always learning. You think back to your rookie year, Scott, how much of a how much of a better caddy you are now than then.
Yeah.
God, the mistakes I made, and sometimes we still do. But those early rookie mistakes, they still make you cringe when you think about them. But Colin, without doubt, made me a better caddy, and in terms of maybe a game plan, or just or sort of just the way he plays the golf course the right way, the way it's supposed to be played. And like when you're out of position, it's like, okay, well, how do we get close in 3 here? Not in 2, because we're out of position. So it's he's all about minimizing mistakes, and that's what. You need the golfer to execute it, but that's what we had drawn up, and Maya didn't make any doubles all week, and that was cool, because we're they're just caddies. We hate making mistakes, so it was nice that we could make those to a minimum, and So, and to see Colin so happy and just sharing it in it as well, like you said, we're great friends, and I think the world of him.
Awesome. Jeff, I want to go to the process from working from Monty to working from Maya. How did that come about? And how did you make the jump back to the LPGA Tour from Colin?
So Colin is he's not playing as full a schedule anymore, and so you know we I didn't know what his plans were, and then I kind of wasn't sure what my plans were as well. Like I really love caddying, but the travel is get difficult. It gets tiring, and I was like, this is my 10th year. I wanted to, I used to be in radio. I'd want to do stuff in broadcasting or look at other avenues alongside caddying or out with it, because it's it's so all consuming, this job, and it's like, well, gosh, well, sure, like you can't just be a caddy, and because you make a lot of sacrifices. So anyway, so I just was looking for a bit more balance. My phone's been going crazy the last week, by the way. It's like it's mad, it'll stop ringing soon. But I missed the LPGA. I missed my mates. I missed you guys. I missed. I mean, everyone on the Champs Tour was great, but I just missed the venues. I mean, the US Open was at Pebble a couple of years ago. The purses are pretty life changing. The LPGA Tour is really the standard is so good. No one really dominates. I mean, obviously you've got Nelly and Gino and Lydia. These greats. They're the top players. But you look at the amount of first time winners last year. So I was thinking, gosh, there's an opportunity for a lot of players to do well, and therefore caddies. So and especially in the majors. So I wanted to be doing those. And the destinations, we go to Asia a couple of times a year, Europe. So that kind of travel excites me again. So yeah, I just missed it. And last year when Colin wasn't playing, I did a couple of cameos and filled in for the LPGA, and I know it's so boring, Scott. Don't worry.
You're good.
So yeah, so Maya became available, and we got linked up. I owe a couple of caddies a nice dinner and a few drinks, and very, very grateful for that. And we just I went to Nashville for a couple of days, and just she lives there, and just we got on great. And so yeah, so hopefully it's the start of a good run together.
Yeah, I think it's off to a pretty damn good start there, bud.
Thanks.
Well, talk about having a good time. I think you're balancing your phone that you're coming to us through on a bottle of wine. So I must ask, what are we drinking, or what were we drinking?
Well, this, I don't know. I'm in someone's house this week. I don't know. They know I'm here. Like it's not like but I've got sometimes
Just raiding the wine cellar, eh?
Yeah, we get nice housing. So I'm here this week, and I just saw this nice bottle of is it Rioja? No, Cabernet Sauvignon, probably Miguel Jimenez style.
Yeah, there we go.
I had Sunday night was carnage. I mean, I had a Wisconsin that were there from the Green Bay days. My events in Madison. So I had friends in Green Bay, and then I had friends in Madison, and then they set me up with their friends in Erin Hills in a place called Watertown. So
well, and for the listeners that don't know, Madison, Wisconsin, home of the University of Wisconsin, annually was ranked as the number 1 or number 2 party school in Playboy's top party schools. So Americans, if you don't view Playboy, let me tell you, that is a fun town to go to, Madison, Wisconsin. And great Jeff obviously has tons of friends there.
Great time, isn't it? I loved it. And then I tell you, the people in Wisconsin are the best. God, a funny thing happened the Friday night before the tournament, which I'll maybe tell you about. But then because I go early, I go on off weeks to Wisconsin, Green Bay, Madison. People that I met through the golf, but they become good friends and kind of like family. And to have them all there cheering on. Maya let them, they got into the USGA to hospitality to celebrate with Maya on Sunday night. Then Maya had like just a shit ton of stuff to do, and was drenched in champagne and still had to pack, and then had media the next day. I'm like, okay, can I go and get really, really drunk right now? Because so we celebrated a little bit together, and I was off, and I went to the moon. And But then all their neighbours came round. And then the guy I was staying with, great guy. I still don't know his surname, but he's called Johnny Vodka. That's his name. He's called Johnny Vodka. He just drinks beers all night.
What a name.
He's the coolest guy ever, and I just met him at the start of the week, and he was so excited. And then in the Sunday morning, he's like, I think he just goes, "Go make history, bud. Go make history. We'll have a vodka when you come back." I come back, and then he's opened up this Swedish crystal from his great grandfather that's never been opened, and he gets this Swedish crystal out, a load of champagne. There was their neighbours came round, all my Wisconsin people. There was 20, 30 of us there, and we got pizza and champagne. Then they all left, and then it was I was, I had a few, but I was the adrenaline was so I was so pumped I couldn't go to sleep. Got a little bit of sleep, drove to Chicago, had some more champagne in the lounge, and then Monday I was just the happiest zombie in the world. I was just walking around and
That's great.
But, so play this week. We've got next week off. But then, I'm excited for Frisco, the PGA, the KPMG that we have coming up, Scott. That has a similar Erin Hills feel to it, and I think Maya will like that. So I did the senior PGA there a couple of years ago. It's a great track. So prepare for that, and then I have 2 weeks off. I'll have a big party at home and get everyone round because, like I said, I never won a major before, so it's I'll be for sure going to celebrate it, and seeing how happy all my family and friends are, it means the world.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of people being happy for you, I watched the coverage on Sunday, and my good friend Bones was covering your group as the on-course reporter for NBC, and he came over and gave you a fist bump after the victory on the 18th green. Did it occur to you when Bones is congratulating you that you've done something that he's never done?
That didn't occur to me, but let me tell you, I was. Do caddies get nervous? I don't know, but it was pretty cool. But we've got a job to do, and we can't show how we're feeling. And I had a good feeling on Saturday night. Anyway, done my work and ready to go, and try and set Maya up. I walked to the first tee, huge crowds, grandstands there, and there's Bones on the first tee. It's Bones, So I was, oh God, boy! I was so I got a little nervous, but more excited because it was Bones. But then the group was quiet. I like to talk a lot as well, and then just I chatted with Bones. Was great. So I just chatted with him a bunch, and he again he it's good. The leaderboards were there, but he was there if we needed to know where we were at. So held it together. We did what we had to do on 18, and she's won the US Open. And then give her a hug, but then then my mind goes to scrambled eggs. I want to cry because bloody hell it means a lot. But then it's just I got out of the way of the champagne. I didn't get any champagne on me, which was great because it stinks. So Maya got drenched, But then so I'm walking back, and then Bones is So Bones gives me really a really nice comment and just a congrats, and he went, "Hey bud, get the flag." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, the flag. It's our caddy trophy."
Yep.
Although at the US Open we get our own wee plaque, which I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Anyway, the flag is what we want. So I'm I just don't even know how to get the flag off. So I'm just here, Bones, you get this off for me because you've done it loads more than I have. But then you've just said, of course, the irony, he's not got a US Open flag. So it's I've just Bones that. So Bones actually took the flag off for me.
Wow.
I couldn't get it off, and he was brilliant. He is, down the line, I'd love to do that kind of thing. But he's such a name in golf, and one of the best caddies of all time. What an incredible announcer! He's great voice for it, so on point every time, and he was great to be around, and just to get those comments from him, to even just have him watching, and then he literally helped. I couldn't get the flag off, so he got it for me and went, great job, kid, and but he's won enough.
You're gonna have to tell him the story next week, or
Well, trust me, he will get wind of this conversation that we just had. And I've walked fairways with Bones like you. It's like, okay, I want to be careful, but I don't want to bother the guy. And I managed to ask him one question walking a practice round with him while he was working for Phil. And the same thing with Steve Williams. I had Steve Williams looking over my shoulder once in the U.S. Open, and I was more nervous about his disapproval than my player's disapproval. It's funny how our
Yeah,
peers, and especially the guys that we, like you talked about Colin being your sporting hero, these caddies, Steve Williams and Bones, I mean, they're one of the reasons I do the job. And so to be able to get to know these guys, like you said, is pretty exciting and pretty fun when you're around them because they have such a history and an earned respect from all of our peers.
yeah,
And so it is fun being around him. And when Bones is there, he is fantastic. I tell him all the time that he's really one of the best in the business, and he's pretty modest about how he feels about his own job. But I do feel like he's really, really good at it, and he's going to be doing it for a long time, maybe alongside you very soon. It sounds like.
yeah. Maybe that would. I mean, I'm certainly, I've got the bug for caddying right now,
Certainly do.
but maybe alongside it and down the line. See, I had a former career in broadcasting, and I've done a bit of presenting, so that's the plan afterwards. But yeah, to
Well,
get that.
I will tell you for Sky Sports, Colin Swatton, Jason Day's former caddy, he is a presenter for them. So there is a market now for caddies with major championship experience to go and talk to the masses during the broadcast. So maybe you're coming along just at the right time. Maybe win 3 or 4 more majors, maybe win the women's Grand Slam, and then we'll get you a job at NBC.
I thought, yeah, maybe that would be. You could be my agent, man. Thanks, Drew.
Yeah,
But
no problem.
that would be the goal. So Jeff Snow is the caddy for Mal Saigo. Is that right, Scotty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he won. They won the Chevron, and obviously the majors is the ones we all want to do well in. So great win for him. But then we're bigging him up, all week. All week I was just, winding him up saying you're the only caddy that's on the Grand Slam this year. You're the only caddy that's on the Grand Slam. And then of course they were leading most of the way, like, gonna get a Grand Slam, Jeff. Almost impossible in the women's game because there's 5 majors. So imagine someone does that. But you're going to get the Grand Slam. But then, he saw me yesterday and said, congratulations. He said, well, we've still got the Jeff Grand Slam possibility of caddies. But yeah, no, it's cool. Seeing how happy everyone is for Maya and maybe for me, it's just like that. It means a lot. Means a lot. And like you said, that respect from your peers, there's experienced caddies that I've learned a lot from, and for them to say well done and congrats or good job, yeah, you get a wee kick out of that.
I call them the warm fuzzies. When somebody that you truly look up to says something kind to you, you get that warm fuzzy feeling inside. And like you said, it almost gives you the bug a little more. Like, I need to go work a little harder this week because I want that feeling again very
Yeah,
soon down the road, right?
yeah,
Well,
Jeff,
I want to talk real quick about the 18th hole. Your player has a multiple shot lead to win a U.S. Open. It's all but certain that you're going to win the U.S. Open. It's very hard at times to stay in the present, as you know, throughout 72 holes, especially the back 9 on Sunday. As the announcers sometimes say, you've got one arm in the jacket as you're coming down the stretch at Augusta with a lead, and you don't want to get ahead of yourself. And then you have an 18th hole that ends up taking nearly 30, maybe 40 minutes to play from tee to finish with a diabolical hole location. Was there ever a temptation when your playing partner is chipping it into a tent and trying to figure out if they're taking drop? Was there ever the thought of, hey, let's just hit the shot up there and get this out of the way? Because that 4th shot chip, that was not an easy play, nor was the 3rd shot from the fairway. Was there ever a temptation to play out of turn just to get on with it?
that's the interesting thing, that it took, well, too long, but it took half an hour. It felt like 2 minutes to Maya and me. We were just enjoying it. We were
Wow.
just there. We chatted. We decided what to do. I mean, it almost like silly. You've got like a 50-foot putt and a doable line. Where we were was fine, but it's just the consequences of going at or left of the pin were just so. Had the lead, do what we have to do. Take, best 3-putt of our life, right? Put it out wide, and so once we decided that, and then we knew that, I mean, it was still hard, but we just decided, and then we just started chatting. That's what we're going to do, and we were just sort of feeling for Julia, because she was, I think she needed a par to get into the US Open next year, so just an awful way to finish. But just saying, and just we were almost pleased that we weren't there all week. There were some silly spots to avoid, and we just because of the play that we decided to do, we knew we weren't going down there, so we just went back and just started shooting the shit and just chatting and almost enjoying it. We didn't want to rush away the moment. It felt like 2 minutes to us to just like, oh, it's our turn. Wow. We didn't so there was no that we were enjoying it. She wasn't uncomfortable. We were just chilling.
What subject do you talk about in that moment with all that pressure to distract a player? I would love to know.
I can't even remember. The subject matter is so weak and tedious and pointless. Like it's nothing. I mean, like just I just chat such crap. I know when to be quiet, but then just I know how to distract and get players away. So we just gosh, what did we talk about? We had it won, and it was just like we were just enjoying it. Yeah. And it was like, I mean, Maya was so impressive and like so comfortable in that situation, and and it was just, I don't know, it was what did we talk about? It was a blur, but it passed in a second. Honestly, it was like I can't even describe it, because looking back, it's we were chatting, but we just were enjoying it. The week was so long. Erin Hills will forever be my new favourite golf course, and I loved it as soon as I got onto the property. An incredible layout, a bit silly in some spots, like but you just had to avoid them. But that 18th, man, I could not enjoy that 18th, because, like, I mean, imagine, you play ping pong and it was to lose the It was great that we didn't have to chase. It was great that we were between 9-iron and wedge on 18. So obviously it's a wedge, but she didn't hit it. So again, but even then I was like, okay, fine, miss is short. And then then I said, look, we've got 3. Okay, so look at our options here, and she's a world-class chipper. But I'm like, so it was, and it was like, I want to say just putt, but like that's breaking the flow and all that. Just get your putter out, but it's okay. Let her get there, and then she goes, I'm just not sure what shot to play here. I said, well, putting's a good option here. We've got 3, and especially outright. And then she was able to process it. I mean, her thought processes the whole day were great. And then if I said something, she was able to go, okay, yep, that works. And like, she just didn't sort of, or she would go, she was such a smart golfer, and then just knew, just knows how to play the right shot. It's, I mean, I didn't do a whole much. I didn't have to do a whole load of convincing, except maybe on 17, but she just had it.
Amazing. Jeff, how many beers have you bought at Meetigans this week?
Well, I mean, breaking the Scottish stereotype.
Well, again, for the folks that don't know, Meetigans is a neighborhood New Jersey bar. It's about 50 yards off the right of the first tee at the Seaview Resort and Spa Seaside course. And every rain delay I've ever had working that event, I've been bellied up to that bar. And maybe I've had 1 or 2 in my drinking days, but that place is so much fun. And I would love, even though I'm sober these days, I would love to be a fly on the wall with Jeff this week at Meetigans.
No, I've been very, very generous. I've being from Scotland, you wouldn't think it, but I've bought at least 3 beers. I bought 3 beers for guys. I've spent I actually haven't. I'm lucky. I've got some good friends out here, and anytime I see, I mean, it's been a really busy week. So I haven't been in as much during, but happy to. I've still got lots more beers to buy, and some
Well,
dinner.
you've got a 1 o'clock tea time today, so 5 hours later is 6:04. So about 6:15, I'd be getting to Meetigans if I'm watching this, and I've got time to get over there because Jeff might be rolling off the 18th green and going straight to the bar.
Well, yeah, well, it's probably tomorrow night because we've got a quick turnaround. But I'll have
Okay.
a couple.
All right.
It's just
Smart
cool to
caddy.
Yeah, that's
to
why he's winning titles.
I should probably buy. I should probably get a few more beers. But anyway, yeah, it's just cool to celebrate. I'm just happy to, and it's it's a pretty, it's just it's life changing. Gosh, not even thinking about the money. Gosh, for Maya, it's incredible as well, and what that means. But it's just about doing what we did all week, and then winning, the US Open, and then the fact that there's that prize and that reward is yes, it's why we do what we do, and it's why we're away from our friends and families half the year, and to first 2 years of caddying, you sort of I didn't earn much at all, if anything, and then you're sort of you're missing the cut, and then you're in Chicago. And you've never been to Chicago before, and you've got the weekend off in Chicago. You're like, okay, I'll go and have a great time. And then you go spend a few $100s, rather than if you just made the cut, you make a few $100s. So it's like it's an $800 swing because you're enjoying it.
That's
so
true.
you're just you make the cut, you're making money. And people don't realize that if you miss the cut, players losing money, and although caddies we get a weekly salary, but we ain't making much, if anything, at all either. So it's all about making the cut, and especially on those big events, that's the goal for everyone. We're all, you hope to win the US Open, but you made the cut, Scott, on Friday, and it's like, okay, we're doing all right.
Yeah.
Well, and you talk about rewards, and I love what the USGA is doing by recognizing the caddy at the prize giving. And no surprise that the CEO of the USGA, former commissioner of the LPGA, Mike Wan, talk about what that was like getting an award on the 18th green at a major championship. This hasn't been going on very long, and you're one of the first guys to receive this. So talk about getting that public recognition in the moment.
Yeah, that is just nuts. So surreal. I cannot. How would I even describe that? It's I'm now just trying to take it all in, the leaderboard, the 18th green, the trying to find my people. My good buddy David Jones, Ronnie Yin's caddy, he had a good week, and he waited behind 18th green, and just seeing his big smile, and that was cool. And then just so proud for Maya, it's nice that they recognise the caddies, but it's just Maya's got the US Open trophy, and I got to hold it for a little bit as well, and just seeing the names on there, and to think her name's going to be there now forever as well is a pretty awesome thought. And then to get recognised, Mike Wan is just the most brilliant person. He was incredible for the LPGA. Since he took over the USGA, I mean, the communication that they give us players and caddies. Yes, they provide the toughest test in golf, but they don't try and catch us out, trick us up. They communicate everything and look after us unbelievably. I mean, they give us a free bar in player dining. There's a free bar there. And that's a lot of trust in caddies that we don't abuse that as well. But it's like typical USGA. They'll beat you up on the golf course and then give you a drink after, and
There you go. Beautiful.
And then him. I have so much respect for Mike. And then he does his speech, and he puts his big cheese hat on just to, for the Wisconsin. I'm looking at that cheese hat going, I want a bit of that after. So I stole that off him after and just pranced about in it for the next 4 hours.
That's great.
And then he's just, he's brilliant. So I can't even. Yeah, I don't. I think I went to the wrong person. I think I went over to grab the mic off Mike. I don't know. It's just, I mean, caddies don't get recognised like that. And then I got it, and I just did a stupid daft celebration and had a weird face and stuff. I just wanted to shake it, and like, but did that for a second and then rein it back in. It's not about me, but like the smile on my face was just it's hard. I don't want it to leave. It's giving me such a kick. But the flag, that trophy's lovely, and the US, the box they give it in, and they've shipped it home. It's in Scotland already. They ship it home for you. With the cheese hat as padding, and my bib, and give you merch and stuff. They honestly like look after you really well. But then the flag that's in the suitcase. So what am I going to do with that flag? It's just that is the caddy trophy, isn't it, Scott?
Oh yeah,
really, So it's just a flag, isn't it? But to caddies, it means, well, as well, Drew. It means the world.
It means everything.
All right, well, we've kept you long enough. You've got a tea time this afternoon. Back to work, like you said, level par, and we start all over. So we're going to let you go. But before I let you go, just a couple of final thoughts on being a major champion caddy. Do you go to work any differently today?
I don't know. But yeah, do the same. That's the whole skill of caddying is win, lose or draw, whatever the situation, do the same thing, be the same as you always are. But there's expectation now, and there's pressure. Maya's out with Nelly, in probably the featured groups, and so I mean she'll handle it great. I mean, no expectations this week, but it is nice to get going and get back to normal and playing again.
I will take a little pressure off. Bones won't be there on the first tee today.
Yeah. But Jason McDade, of course. Oh gosh.
Yeah, you got to listen to Jason, Caddy.
Great Jason, no, it'll be cool. It's nice to maybe we like it when there's crowds there and stuff. I made a stupid bet with Maya. Oh God, like that. Anyway, so she said to me at the start of the week, I was wearing different socks or something. I said I was wearing like slightly bigger ankle socks, and I was just looking for chat. What do you think of these socks? She went, they're fine, I don't care, like just your socks and stuff like that. But they're a wee bit higher than I normally wear. And then she said, and then I said, well, at least they're not those long hockey socks, that a lot of the sort of golfers wear and stuff. And she went, yeah, you wouldn't suit them. I said, I beg your pardon, I think you'll find I would suit a nice pair of long fetching hockey socks. Up to the knee. And she said, I tell you what, Jeff, if I get a top 5 at the US Open this week, will you wear them at ShopRite next week? Oh, top 5. I said, yeah, sure, because we'll take a top 5, Scotty, right? We'll do anything. We'll do anything to get the best out of our players and so on. And then she's on the 18th and over that putt, I'm thinking, I made that daft bet about those bloody socks. And then I gave her a hug on 18 and, said just how proud I was and how awesome she is. And I said, and by the way, I'm not wearing those socks at ShopRite. And she went, yes, you are. She went, yes, you are. So I'm slightly concerned that I'm going to have to wear a pair of long.
Can we see him? Can we see him?
I was about to say, you're giving the viewers something to tune in and watch later today. So, I mean, again, I'm going to watch just to see you. What color socks? Are we going to go Scottish blue and white? Or are we going to try to match the hot pink shirt you're wearing?
Please, I am not. I said to my, I'm not a bet's a bet. I am not going to a shop to buy long hockey socks. I'm not.
Well, just so you know, the New Jersey Devils, that's the team nearest where you're playing, they're red, black, and white is the uniform. So if you see giant red, black, and white socks in a casino near you on your way to work, I would buy those and you'd get a lot of support from the local fans. Okay,
that's an idea. But I said I'm happy to because Maya and I like a little bet in a game during practice rounds, and I always pay up. But like I said, like if she's providing the socks, I'll have to wear them, won't I? Because that's a bet. But I don't have any socks. I don't want to wear them. I'm going to look like an absolute twat.
Oh, I mean, I think Sweden has a pretty good hockey team. Maybe you're wearing some Swedish national team socks by the end of the day today.
Maybe
that would be a lot of fun.
I hope. So we'll see if she brings. But that's maybe that's the point. If she hasn't brought them and we make it through to Sunday, maybe I could get those New Jersey hockey socks and wear them. But I just don't like, like I don't
The
know.
New Jersey Devils for a handsome devil. How about that? There's a tagline.
Hey,
Thank you. I just don't want to on the golf course. I don't like to attract attention to myself, so I feel like I'm going to look so ridiculous. But the fact
but
that
you wore that pink shirt.
Exactly. That pink shirt's going to do plenty of work for you today, big boy.
it is very pink. Yeah, I'm going to look incredibly. If oh God, what if the socks are pink? Oh,
Well, Jeff, thank you for your time. It is going to be so much fun watching you guys this week, watching you walk around in hockey socks. And thank you for making time for our little show. We really appreciate it. And again, watching Sunday, I was so thrilled for you. Really excited to talk to you this morning. And you have exceeded expectations. You're hilarious. And we might have to start working on getting you a gig with NBC or Sky Sports so the folks at home can hear you a little more often.
thanks, Drew, and I'm happy to join you guys anytime. It's a cool show you've got, and good luck with it. And it's cool that you asked me to come on. You boys
Yeah,
have to come
Scotty,
on.
we might have a third host for this show. It sounds like.
I mean, listen, anytime we can talk to Jeff Brighton and have him, as doing stuff for us, it's a good thing. Jeffrey, I've looked up to you for a long time. I still remember going back to a round we had at Lake Merced. I was caddying for Nyan Choi, and I'm not going to name the player that you were caddying for, but your player clearly played out of turn. And I remember you came up to Nyan and me and you just apologized. And that has always stuck with me as like one of the coolest things. And so I've just always had a lot of respect for you from them. And just really, really cool to see you succeeding now. So,
Mate, thanks very much. That's kind of you, man. Cool. And congrats on your win as well. And I'm sure we'll play lots of practice rounds together this year and hopefully win the international crown as well later in the year.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Well, guys, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram. Give us a like, give us a listen, share with your friends, and we'll keep bringing you the world of golf from my side of the bag.